Being friendly and being a friend, I think, are two different things. I think there are many whites who act friendly toward Negroes. A fox acts friendly toward the lamb. And usually the fox is the one who ends up with the lamb chop on his plate. The wolf doesn't act friendly, and therefore the wolf has more difficulty in getting the lamb chop in his plate.
I'd like to point out, though,
And
that
I say that because it is usually if you study the structure of the Negro community, economically, politically, civically, psychologically, and otherwise, it's controlled by the white liberal, who usually poses as the friend of the Negro, who actually differs from the white conservative, and in the same way that the fox differs from the wolf. Their appetite is the same. Their motives are the same. It's only their mannerisms and methods that differ.
All right, everybody, and welcome to the D-constructing Topic podcast. My name is David, and that was Brother Malcolm X. Because if we started that episode with that little quote there, little thing going on with Brother Malcolm X, that means that we got a legendary podcast, legendary episode. Because once again, my name is David, and I'm your legendary host of this legendary podcast. And welcome to another beautiful podcast. If we got Brother Malcolm X, that means that we're going to be talking a little bit of politics, philosophy, as we already know. We just had the New York City's mayor's race. I'm in New York City, so I got to talk about it. Ooh, let's go and give my thoughts on what I think about our new mayor, Mr. Zoran Mandani, what I think, and the reason why I brought Malcolm X and what he said is because I'm going to give you my thoughts on what I think, because in this podcast, it's about saving our minds, and I'm saving minds, and I'm saving lives. And I will guarantee you that I'll be up there in the top 10 podcasts in a year, in 2 or 3 years, and within 5 years, I'll guarantee you that I'll be number one. I'll be running for mayor, president. I'll be doing anything, because in this podcast, when you listen to me, you could do anything that you want. And I'm here to tell you all about it, because we only got each other. You already know. Hit that like button, comment, share. My energy level right now is off the roof. Let's get it. We got a good one. But once again, hit that like button. Comment. For those people, people been listening to me on the radios. Ooh, I appreciate that. But once again, log on to my information and hit the like. We're going to make these podcasts like, hey, I appreciate people sharing. I see the states. I see who's listening to me. Hey, listen, I got those admin rights for me to see where my audience is coming, because I want to expand, and I will expand. And I'm on Teagles TV as well. So once again, a lot of people have reached out to me, and they've been asking, David, people been calling me 24/7. From America to South America to whatever. Excuse me, I'm over here burping. I apologize. I got people, I think, calling me from Mars and Jupiter and whatever it is. Like, yo, what you think? Let me know what you think about the mayor of New York City, Zoran Mandani. Now, the reason is why I brought in Malcolm X, and that one was, I believe, was 1962, if I'm not mistaken. Little interview, is that there are things that he warned us about in this country, in this beautiful country, which I deeply love. But sadly, the people in this country and the people in New York City, they get taken advantage of, and they get suckered to think that, hey, whatever it is. And one of the things that my brother Malcolm X warned us about is that in this country, there's these two white factions, the white liberal and the white conservative. And when I talk about, my brother Malcolm X in the modern setting, there are people that, I disagree, I'm a progressive, I'm this and that. At the end of the day, if you're running into politics, these are the two white factions that got that money, regardless of left, far, right, whatever it is, middle, concert, these are the two. These are the two. And as long as, I always say, as long as these two white factions are going at each other, and we just the political pawns, they're going to create these Mandanis of the world, because at the end of the day, if we're going to talk, if I tell you what I think about Mandani, and he just started, I'm not going to knock the young brother out. He might do some good stuff. Let's see. But the way I see that, he's just another puppet of the system, of these two factions. Because one on the other side, the white liberals praising Mandani, oh, socialist, all this and that. And he's not a socialist, he's not a communist. He's part of 1/3 of 1/2 or whatever. He's part of the Unity Party. He's now part of the system that's actually dividing and making this country worse. Well, not even making the country worse. Never helping this country and the people that needs help. He's part of the problem. He is part of that problem now. And the people on the right, the conservative, oh, he's a communist and all this. Again, he's not. He's none of that stuff. And when Brother Malcolm X, he mentioned that, hey, listen, these factions, especially those in the white liberal, that they create these puppets, these parrots, the black leaders, our black leaders. Because I'm in New York City, and hey, I get to talk about this situation. I also get to talk about the black leaders that are put in front of us, the AOCs of the world, the Zoran, and I'm like, where these people came from? They came from like a factory of Mattel, toy leaders, fake toy leaders, parrots. They came from some type of factory manufacturer leaders. That's what they are. If these people were leaders, they'll be running independent, right? Oh, but David, it's hard to run independent. I get it. I always said if people believe in you, they just say if you are just thinking about independent and you meet people who are, let's say, registered Democrats, diehard Democrats, but they believe in you, I always say, you know what? If they got the money, they got the means, if they really believe in you and you independent, let them help you. It should not be the other way around. And Mandani kind of reminds me a bit of Obama in the sense that even when Obama became president, even prior to that, this country was fed up with these fake wars, under the Bush, Dick Cheney, the irony, right? That Dick Cheney dies on the die of Mandani, who's a Muslim, you already know. But the fact is this, America, it's not a pro-war country. The people who runs the country, sadly, that they get voted, they do. But America's like, hey, stay off other people's problems, fix my problems. That's what Americans is. I know it ain't always been, but they get tricked. And what happened during Obama is that when America was fed up and was about to just start to like, hey, we fed up with the system, the duopoly, the Democrats, Republicans, they the same. Boom, you hit them with Obama, then everybody goes silent. And that's the thing that I see with Zoran. I don't know where the Muslim, and I've been calling a lot of these Muslim, the pro-Palestine, anti-genocide. I've been calling these people out because out of nowhere, they're celebrating Madani, a Muslim and so on. And what I'm going to say, hopefully people don't get offended. And I apologize if they do, but I'm just a vocal person who talks from the heart. And I straight up call a lot of Muslims lately who have been silent about the genocide. Because Madani is a Muslim, and I'm saying to myself, that for those listening to me out there, please correct me if I'm wrong, right? If this genocide has happened in Gaza, there's 3 entities who are responsible. The genocide started under the Joe Biden administration, Democrats. It's been continued by the Republican Party right now as we speak with Trump. And all because of the state of Israel. And Madani is part of one of the 3. His party is part of one of the 3. So now you are Muslim and I reached out. So wait a minute. I don't get it. So now you're cheering for a Muslim who's part of a party who started the genocide of Muslim in Gaza. Please let me know if I'm doing or I'm saying something wrong. Please. I have people giggle. Well, that's identity politics to you. See how the system does? What the system does is that they silence you to think, and they give you a bone to chew on to give you that illusion that now you have a representative, that you have somebody that's going to represent you. But that's not the case. Would Mandani, for some reason, do something for the people here in New York City? Sure. But if you was to ask me, and this is what's going to happen, because I think that Mandani was created just for the sake of the midterm elections, which is next year here in the United States. The midterm election is very crucial here in the United States, but I think that's going to happen. Is that Mandani is going to do some stuff here and there, or will do something, and then Trump will say something stupid. And then people are going to be like, oh, because of Trump, Mandani can't do this, that, so on and so forth. And then there you go. that's where the white liberal and the white conservative factions start to go at each other. And at the end of the day, they're not going to do anything for the people, especially those people of color. And when I say those people of color in New York City, we're talking about blacks, Latinos, Latinas, Latinx, whatever it is you want to call immigrants. You know what I mean? Because sadly, that's how the machine works. The machine is not here, and it's crazy because I reach out to some of these Muslim brothers and sisters, and I'm like, I'm confused. So you all this time was talking about genocide, free Palestine, and now they put some dude that I'm telling you was created in some factory. Yeah, his father was a professor in Columbia and Harvard. Politics, well-to-do. His mother, an actress, well-to-do, in a sense. And they throw you that bone and you fell for it. I just hope that people don't get disappointed, because you will be disappointed. That's definitely. And I would love to eat my words. And I would love 1 year from now, when the midterms election, that Mandani does something drastic. I don't know. What can Mandani do right now that's going to make an impact within the year going to the next? It can't be a free bus. I mean, not everybody takes a bus. I don't take a bus. Free trains? Okay. That's debatable. What does rent control freeze means? You know what I mean? Lower the price. If they find a way to lower the price in New York City of food, hey, that's one thing. How he's gonna do it? Hey, listen, he's gonna get paid the big bucks. He's gonna be surrounded by people. And sadly, that picture of him and Agnes Zorro, the son of George Zorro, someone who is a Zionist, on the other side. And I'm gonna throw that in because some people's like, what does that mean? That's another different podcast in itself. But hey, listen. If there's white conservative and white liberals fighting each other, these are two kind of factions that you could find in Israel. You could find all this. So once again, that's why I go back to going after and calling out these Muslim brothers and sisters who now, out of nowhere, forgot where their census is from. It's like, really? You know what I mean? And that's where identity politics, and that's what they do, and especially the white liberal. That's what they do. They paint these people that look like us, sound like us, but they're not us. Mandani's not us. Mandani's not that struggling person out there. And I definitely gonna say that, hey, listen. And I know that people are gonna say, well, give them time. Again, I want you to think about is this: why we are still in the same spot. I've been living in this country for 3 decades, and the black people are still in the bottom of New York City. Everybody, the Italians, the Irish, some Mexicans, some couple of people, Dominicans, they done got out, you know what I mean, from the hood. But it's still the black population, the black community still in the bottom of the worst parts of New York City. Why? What have we done? Now, I might, like I said, considering running for mayor in 2029, I said to myself, hey, listen, if you're in New York City, you live in the hood for 10, 15 years, you know what? One of the policies that I'm going to create, you know what? Let's get you out of the hood and find you a nice area where you can live in New York City. And we'll find a way where you get, the rent will taking care of you, because you, my friend, out there that live in the hood, you already know. Sometimes it's a cycle. We got good people in the hood, but they can't get out because it's a cycle. Crime is a thing because of poverty. No one should go, in poverty in New York City. What would Mandani do? Let's see. But within a year, again, the midterms is next year, and then you are going to see, and I'll guarantee you what's going to happen. I'm going to guarantee you that, Trump's going to say something, and again, he's part of the system. See, the thing about these two factions that they work with each other. They don't care about us. We're just political pawns. And I'm going to say this, and I'm going to remind people, and people are going to be like, oh, but Nani can't do this because, Trump. And then the people are going to just back that thing up, and they're going to forget about the problems in New York City. I'm telling you, that's what's going to happen. Because that's always happened. It just now is a little bit different because now they threw you with a bomb. Oh, but he's the first Muslim. mayor of New York City, whatever the case might be. So what? What does that mean? Really, what does that mean? You know what I mean? He is part of the machine. He is part of the party that's causing the problems. And if you look at the people, and I always suspicious, when you got a lot of white liberals that's around our people of color, that's a red flag. Just the same thing as if I see a fellow Christian calling themselves conservative, if I see a lot of white people around them, then that's a problem. Then you're not a leader. You're not doing, they're using you. And sadly, people, when they see you on both sides, they're going to be like, look, that's why I need to vote for you. Don't, man, don't. And I'm not trying to disrespect anybody who described themselves as white liberal, white conservative. I'm not going to try to disrespect you. Well, a lot of you's got the monies and all you want to do is tap yourself in the back just because your friend is black. I'll be straight up. You know what I mean? And my thing with the Mandani, it's one of those things where you could start to see it's like, hey, listen, if he's really about that life, and I like how people say, well, 10 years ago, he was talking about defund the police. Bro, he's a manufacturer opposition. He was being paid back then to be that so that people could have something to talk about now. Because that's how you trick the system. That's how you trick the people. You're going to give them stuff about 10 years ago, whatever. Hey, listen, 10 years ago, I was being paid, to talk nonsense so that when I run, people could just be like, oh, look what he said. Look what he did. Look. And guess what? People are going to jump on the side of the fence, bloop, bloop, like a pinball. Boop, boop. That's why Brother Malcolm X said, you're just a political football. They just playing with you. Boom, 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 boom. You don't think on your own. And that's why I want people to think on their own. But Donnie's not here to be that savior of whatever the case might be. And if you're this Muslim, and this is not me trying to criticize you specifically, but I know what you've been talking about in the last year, 2 years or so, pro-Palestine with the little, scarf, I forgot what you call it. I sees you. Now you're happy, but yet the boy is part of this machine that was destroying your people? Huh? Wow. See how this works? The trick is crazy. And I want people I can't say people are waking up because sadly that's what the machine is. I'm here to tell that story because I'm like, hey, I ain't going to tell you to wake up. I'm going to tell you to listen to this podcast. You decide what you're going to do. If you still want to be a sheep, by all means. Want to think on your own? Poof. Let's hold hands and let's make that fight. I'm independent. I always will be independent. And it's not even being independent, just thinking on your own. Can you not see how is it that this dude that's the mayor of New York City is being propped up? This guy didn't struggle. He didn't eat peanut butter and jelly sandwich. He ain't about that mac and cheese that, he ain't about finding pennies under the couch. He ain't about that life. You know what I mean? And that's what breaks me, because if New York City and people that vote that have been struggled, that know what it is to be looking for change or going to your dirty clothes, that's in the laundry, that you're ready to wash, looking in to see if you find $1 or two. You ain't trying to empty pockets to make sure that's lint. You're trying to see if there's a couple of dollars. You've been there, I've done that. Whew. But he ain't about that life, and that's the sad thing. If you was about that life, why are you going to vote for somebody that's not about that life? Jeez, come on, peoples. And when you see people about that life, then you gotta, you gotta sometimes search, because sometimes there are people that have struggled, and these Mandanis of the words, they don't know, what exactly it is that he knows. What struggle does he know? You know what I'm saying? And I mean by struggle, I'm saying everybody's struggle is a little bit different. I sip a little bit of water. Woo, let's go. And that's when I start to see that these little red flags, it's like, oh, here we go again. And to see, especially the young voters, there's those of my age and elders that remember how they felt about Obama once he was done in the 2 terms. Even in the first term, a lot of people in the black community felt disappointed. And I'm glad that I'm not the only one that see what they see in Mandani. There's other peoples out there who could start seeing, because again, we go back to what Brother Malcolm X said. There's 2 white factions that are going after each other, and it's the white liberal and white conservative. All I'm asking you, if you're Latino, black, Asian, if you're non-white, non-Caucasian, I'm going to ask you, What side do you pick? Oh, but don't you think we got to fight fascism and whatever it is that's going on? And I said to myself, yeah, we do. But guess where they hide? Behind the two political machine. Guess who you support? The same thing that you are claiming to be fighting. What can Zoran do? I don't know. There's a lot of stuff that he could do, a lot of stuff that he cannot do. And I'm pretty sure we're going to lean towards he cannot do this because Trump is this, and we're going to go to the same circle. It's the same cycle. They recycle these toy leaders. They're not true. I can't believe that there's people that actually believe in this. Well, then I believe it. I believe that's the human psyche. To see the political machine in this country, they molded that. Because they done throw you with a bone back, a long time ago, and you fell for it. It's like those little traps. See, for those people out there that's hunting a little, let's say a little bit of a rabbit, I'm not saying I'm going to kill a rabbit. You're out there in the woods, and you're just waiting for that rabbit, and you just drop the cage, let that trap, and the funny thing is that you feel sorry for this little rabbit, and you let them go, but they wounded. And guess what? You'd set up the same trap. That same rabbit falls for the same trap over and over and over and over. And that's where the political machines have done. They've set that trap, and you're going to fall for it, and you fall for it until you bleed, until you what? Like I once told one of my brothers in arms who voted for Obama twice or whatever, And I told him, hey, listen, you know what's crazy? You put Obama's kid to college. You got kids now, you're kind of thinking how you're going to put your kids to college. You see how that works? If you're in New York City, if you're listening to this, there's a lot of people with money. There's kids with money. I always remember months ago, last year, so like a group of 3 young girls, 2 white, 1 Asian, but the Kamala Harris, one of them probably got more money than a lot of people combined. But you know how they got there? Well, I don't know if their parents are doctors, nurses, whatever. But let's just say that the Republican Party did a tax break for rich people. So there's a good chance those parents who are Democrats, who got kids who are Democrats, they reap the benefits of that system. But guess how they got there? Because of you, the voter. And then with Zoran, that's my thing with that situation. Once again, the way I feel, it's not even the way I feel, the way I think, the way I see things, is that he's just another puppet of the machine. Again, I would love to, hey, Zoran, he got this. Hey, listen, let's say you living in New York City. I hope that they don't take this policy from me. That's one of my ideas. If you're in New York City, you got to make a certain amount. If you're making about, let's say, $60,000 to $100,000 per year, you're still going to be struggling because the rent here is a little bit high. I would do is I'll give you a little, little vouch, $200, something for food. Even if you're making $100,000, let's say single parent, whatever it is, you're going to be struggling. The rent is high. Here's a little $200 a month for a year, whatever it is. Something like that could work because it could be done, But that's my take on this situation. Hopefully you enjoyed this podcast. Listen to this podcast. Once again, subscribe, share, comment, all that good stuff. Let me know what you think about this Zoran Mandani. Once again, I got the red flag. I go with what Brother Malcolm X said. It's 2 factions here, white liberals, white conservative, and we just in the middle, and the likes of the Zorans and the AOCs, even on the right side, Marjorie Taylor Greene, they are well-to-do people from well-to-do families, and these are the puppets and the parrots that have been put in front of us, and please do not fall into that trap. Once again, let's think on your own. But once you finish listening to this, I'm pretty sure you're going to be doing your homework and you're going to be like, thank you, David, for opening my eyes, because saving a mind is saving a life. Let's make it happen. I'm out. Peace.